Hi there, my name is Archie Monton and I've just finished my first week interning at Pulse Social. Yeah, it's been a really good week so far. I was definitely nervous before I'd started the placement, but I was very lucky that I'd had quite a few other students at my university take part so far in the placement, and they were able to give me some really useful advice for the blogs, the podcasts, the news bulletins as such, and using Canva as well. But no, really useful tips, definitely. And Marlon, of course, has been absolutely brilliant for the whole week. He's helped me get so many contacts, not only for this week, but for the upcoming weeks as well. Always been good to touch base as well multiple times in the day, and it's been really useful just to kind of have those as different points in the day that I'm able to kind of get everything together and update them on what's going on. But no, I think it's been a really good week. For next week and for the upcoming weeks, I'd definitely like to try and improve my style with Canva and my interviewing techniques. I felt that was maybe a bit weak this week. Apologies, but yeah, no, with my interviewees for this week, they were all really useful subjects. One of them being my mother, of course, which was a very interesting conversation to have. But no, I think just my style of interview, maybe the way that I was phrasing the questions wasn't always as clear as I would like it to be. So definitely would like to try and improve that for the next coming weeks. But no, I do think it's been a really good week. Writing the blog post as well, that's been quite interesting, and you get that creative freedom to be able to pivot stories. Of course, we had the unfortunate news about Jota yesterday. I decided to pivot my story to that after previously doing Wimbledon for this week for my independent blog, and Marlon was kind enough to let me do that. And yeah, you do, like I said, get that creative freedom with the blog posts, and of course all the content that you make with Pulse, which is just excellent. And with Canva, I feel like I've struggled a little bit. I've gotten better with it though, definitely. I've been trying to emulate some of the styles that I've seen of the blog posts, or the podcasts and the news bulletins rather. And I feel like I've done that for this week, but I definitely like to try and make it a bit more creative and a bit more personal towards me in the way that I design them for the upcoming weeks. Definitely use some more of the elements that are available on Canva. But no, I think for a first week it's been really strong. I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks, obviously. Looking forward to seeing how I get done. But no, really enjoyed it, and yeah, fantastic experience so far. So looking forward for what comes next. Hi everybody, my name is Archie Monton and this is my second week finished as an intern at Pulse Social. Can't believe I'm saying it, it's so terrifying to say that the second week's finished. It feels like no time since I was doing one of these for the first week, but no, again, a really good week, really strong, really positive, was really happy with how my interviews went this week. I was saying it to Marlon, who once again, just to say, has been absolutely fantastic. Once again, communication so regular, helping me out with contacts. He's been absolutely amazing, so can't thank him enough. Interviews this week a lot stronger. Was really happy with how they all went, and making the podcast as well. I just felt more confident being able to do it with what was being produced. Obviously, I think the actual content of the podcast, made me feel more confident about what I was making. And so maybe I was enjoying more what I was making. Not to say, of course, my first weeks weren't incredible. I just maybe wasn't as happy with my editing style. But I think I talked about in the first week on this that I wanted to improve my interviewing style. And I think this is kind of like an outlet of that. You want to improve your interviewing style so that you can kind of improve your editing style for whatever you're making. And yeah, I'm hopeful that I've been able to do that. But again, really strong interviews once again. Blog posts again. I was really happy with them last week. I think I'm really happy with them this week. I think I've just found a style that works for me with them. So yeah, really happy with how they're coming out. Was struggling a little bit to find what to do my independent blog on. Not quite as confident on finding topics maybe. So that's maybe something that I could work on. But no, I ended up doing the Wimbledon story on Barrecci. Back to the Wimbledon semi-final after giving birth to her child last year, and kind of making a story on previous female tennis players who have done that in the past. So yeah, was quite happy that I'd decided on that topic. But no, again, news bulletin, feeling a lot more confident on making that. Again, I think that kind of stems from the content that I was making. May switch up my style next week, but I think I found a formula that really works. And another note for this week, obviously, it felt like everything maybe came quite quickly, opposed to last week when things were maybe quite, evenly spaced out. All of my interviews ended up being very early on in this week. It meant obviously I had the rest of the week to be able to work on like editing and making the blogs, which is probably more ideal, but it just felt like something very different to be having everything coming. I don't know, like very early on in the week. So no, just something a bit different, of course. We'll see how the next 2 weeks go. But yeah, halfway through, can't believe it. Really enjoying it so far. And yeah, can't wait for what next week brings. And looking forward to making the content. Hi guys, my name is Archie Monton Black, and this is my video diary for my third week at Pulse Social. Yeah, I mean, again, another really quick week, this one. It did feel like it got to Friday very fast, but again, another really enjoyable week, but a lot tougher this week, definitely compared to week one and week two. I know Marlon obviously said that kind of the weeks get like a bit easier as they go along, but I suppose one week is never going to be the same as the other, and yeah, that was kind of proved with this week. Yeah, it was quite hard to get interviewees, quite hard to get people tied down or stick to a date, stick to a time. But that can happen in journalism or sports journalism. It can happen anywhere in journalism, and yeah, you kind of just have to go with the flow. So yeah, definitely a bit more challenging to be able to get people kind of like in the calendar, but you get a lot of people who kind of read off messages or maybe just ignore messages altogether, and you kind of just have to take it on the chin. It can feel a little bit disheartening maybe after you message quite a few people in quite a short space of time. And you're not getting a response, but yeah, you kind of just have to go along with it and just wait and see who comes about. And when they do come about, then you'll maybe eventually find that quite a few people do come about. And I think that's kind of what I'm finding. Maybe just a little bit challenging to be able to get people secured for next week and for this week, but got it done. That's the important thing, and I'm really happy again with the interviews that I did get. All really insightful, all really great stories and great laughs as well. Actually, some really bubbly interviews this week. But yeah, blogs, again, really happy with them. Same kind of formula, just think it's really working for me at the moment. I'm really enjoying writing them. That's been like a real positive for me, I think, during my internship here. And it was really easy to choose a topic for this week's blog. I know last week I kind of had some difficulties choosing, but this week's I really wanted to do something on the women's Euros. Of course, that's underway at the moment, and yeah, that's the piece I did, and I'm really happy that I did that piece. But yeah. All's kind of moved a bit slowly this week. I suppose it's good to have a bit of variation actually though, because I said last week that things came quite quickly, like very early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, but things maybe came a bit later this week, so looking towards like the Thursday and the Friday as well. But no, it's all really good practice, and it, like I said, it just shows what can happen in journalism and sports journalism. But Marlon, again, fantastic, absolute pleasure to work with, and I'm just really happy to have him as my boss, to be honest, because yeah, I feel like there'd be a lot of instances where I'd be lost without him during this internship. He's been absolute godsend, so yeah, can't thank him enough once again for this third week. But yeah, next week's the last week. Cannot believe it. Really looking forward to it. Again, really excited to see what challenges come about. But yeah, that's week 3, and yeah, looking forward to next week, and hopefully a good send off as well.
Hi, my name is Archie Monton Black, and this is my video diary for my 4th week of my internship at Pulse Social. Yeah, I absolutely cannot believe it's already coming to an end. It feels like only a few days have gone by since I did my last video diary. I don't know, it's just really quite a crazy thought to think that something like this goes so quickly, because I feel like when I started out, I was, really quite nervous. I didn't know what to expect, but having been involved for the 4 weeks and being a part of it just feels really really impactful, like really really strong. And I suppose they say If you're enjoying something, it won't feel like work. And these things can go quite quickly. So I think obviously that's a testament to my time here at Pulse Social. Of course, well, I suppose for this week, just like first of all, another good week, another strong week. Like I said, in the weeks gone by, it's always good to have something like different to look forward to, like each week. And that doesn't only go for content. I think that also goes for like how the week pans out. And I'd say again, it's been a bit of a different week. It's been kind of spaced out again content wise, so maybe looks more like that first week that I had at Pulse Social when my interviewees were like quite like spaced out in the week. So I was kind of like working through one thing at a time. And then obviously I had my second week when everything came quite quickly. This one again, like it had the opportunity to have everything happen quite quickly. But it wasn't anything like week three where I was at a bit of a loose end, not really knowing where my interviewees were, what was going to happen with my interviewees. I had everybody secured, and I was really happy once again with the people that I've chatted to, and yeah, again another really great batch of people, all really kind individuals, really strong stories as well. So yeah, no, been lucky to be able to cover and interview them all. And of course, blogs, absolutely fine. Really enjoyed writing my independent blog this week on the Ebony Horse Club in Brixton. That was a story that I came across, and I thought that could be a really nice story, just because of some of the really strong work that they're doing. Obviously, maybe not similar to my other independent blogs where it was kind of like timely with what was happening in that week. But again, just something really nice to kind of be able to attempt and try as like a different like avenue. Like it doesn't always have to be on time stories with journalism. It can just be maybe a story that's already been put out, or a story that's already been covered, or a story that's like not on time but still something that your readers would read, and something that people would give another glance at. So no, definitely been another strong week of content. Editing's all gone fine. Canva, I'm really used to it now. I think if I ever got a task like that with any other internship, with anywhere else in my journalism career, I'd feel a lot more confident to be able to use Canva. And I have Pulse Social to thank for that, definitely, because I'd never touched it before this internship. But it's really easy to use, and makes you feel really confident in the content that you're making. But yeah, again, really good week of content, and Marlon again, absolutely fantastic, dropping in every day of the week, different times, just making sure that I'm working okay, everything's going smoothly. So yeah, really grateful for all of his help once again this week. If I've ever got like a challenge or any difficulty, I know Marlon will be there and be able to help me sort it out and look for a solution rather than focusing on the problem. And that's something really quite strong to come away with, quite a important message maybe for me to take away from it. So no, really grateful once again for all that he's done for this week. But yeah, of course this is my last week, so it's kind of just going to be looking at some of the highlights, some of the challenges, and looking at what's coming next, I suppose, for my career, and where I'll be going after this internship. So no, favorite task. I think podcasts were definitely a major highlight for me. Just being able to speak to so many people like involved with sports and fitness, and in such positive ways as well. When you have people like coaches, tutors, people who want to give back to the space that they've enjoyed in their lives, or been involved with in their lives, just feels really strong. And you get ex-professionals as well. I mean, just being able to speak to people who are even like if it's just like a small amount, just like connected even in some way to the things that I love or my hobbies, just feels very impactful and very personal. And I think you can feel really grateful to get the chance to chat to people like this in this profession. We can be definitely very lucky as sports journalists to get to speak to people who have kind of like who are kind of making our careers in essence. Making helping us to be able to make a name for ourselves, or helping ourselves to make the content that we want to make. So no, absolutely. Podcast's been a really strong point for me. I know I'm going to be speaking about quite obviously more than one aspect of the internship, but I think there's just been so many in such a short space of time. It feels, it feels almost detrimental to kind of not cover more than one because it's a great shame it's ending so quickly. But I've really enjoyed the process of editing. Obviously, I said I'd never use Canva. Definitely nervous about it in the first week or ahead of the internship. But after the first maybe like two podcasts have been edited, I felt a lot more in cruise control. And Marlon was then really helpful with feedback after the first few weeks about where I could improve. And then, boom, you just find a formula that works for you. So there's lots of help in place with whole social in this internship to make sure that you can get the most out of the placement. And maybe that's the overarching positive that I'd say you get a lot out of here. And well, actually, one more favorite moment for me has definitely been the opportunities you get from like working as somewhere that's so well connected as Pulse Social is. I mean, just this week, I'm getting to go to the Oval on Sunday for my first cricket match of my life, and community projects, excuse me, like this here at Pulse, they give you that opportunity to go and network and be involved with the profession that you love. So, no, absolutely very grateful to Marlon as ever for all that he's continued to do for me and my career in general. So, no, a few positives there, definitely. Out of a very large bunch, I should say. But no, challenge or biggest challenge. I think I often, and it probably came across in a few of these interviews that will be coming out. I get nervous speaking to people I've never previously spoken to, and there's tough moments trying to power through, make it unnoticeable. But I think it's something quite raw, like that adds to the personal aspect of these podcasts. It doesn't make them robotic, perhaps. It makes them authentic. So I think that's been really, really quite nice to be able to emulate. Maybe that was the biggest challenge. Another might be the possibly rejection that you get from interviewees. I've done sports journalism for nowhere near as long as a lot of my other colleagues in this space have, or people in my network. But it's never nice in anything you do to get a no. Or worse, to get a reason for a no that you maybe feel like you could have helped before they said no. But large majority of the people you get are really positive and really nice. But yeah, it stings for a while when you get a series of read-offs or dead ends with interviewees. But focus on the good. As Marlon always said, it's a numbers game, and it's just one of those things. But you definitely come out of the other side more resilient and tougher skin with facing interviewees. So yeah, but yeah, I suppose what's next for me? So in about a month's time, I'll be going off to Canada to start my study abroad year for my third year of university, and then next year I'll be coming back to London to finish off my degree. Buzzing for that, even though it's very far away, both geographically and from what I know, what I'm used to. It's about broadening your horizons, trying something new, and Canada is such a melting pot of creativity. So there will be lots for me to try, I'm sure, and see how journalism works out there, and hopefully even more strongly, like or more firmly, set my mind to know that this is what I want to do professionally. But yeah, that's definitely that's one thing for what's next. I'll be continuing my work in volunteer radio for Football Live, my work for my publications I'm already on as well, and potentially join some new ones in Canada. We'll wait and see. But slowing down on my tutoring for a bit, but I'd love to be able to come back to that because I love helping people. And yeah, I suppose that's kind of just like a small glimpse of what's next for me. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting time out in Canada. I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep plugging away on LinkedIn with all these avenues. So anyone that wants to follow the journey, please feel free. But I'll also, without it goes without saying, but I'll be making sure that I'm keeping in touch with Marlon and Pulse Social, making sure that I can do anything for them if I can. I'll be available for because they've done a massive amount for me. Like I said, in such a short amount of time for my career, and if I can give back even a little bit, it'd be my absolute pleasure. So no, definitely be available for them. But yeah, I suppose that's me signing out of the internship, the Pulse Social internship. Really, really appreciative of my time here, and I'm excited for what the future holds. But a lot of love from me to give back to this place and all the amazing work they're doing with their community initiatives and any of their other works. But it's been amazing to be just even like a small part of it. So yeah, I suppose that's me. But take care, everybody, and hopefully see you in some way or another soon enough. But yeah, thank you all.